Can someone check Zoom if I'm sharing the right thing? Am I sharing my screen? I hit the share button. What am I supposed to be sharing? Okay, share. Can one of you go into Zoom and make sure I did the right thing? Okay.
I think we can share the PowerPoint.
Yeah, but I have multiple things I want to go back and forth with. I just want to confirm I'm sharing it because I'm recording. What? Ah, I am sharing, but who knows what I'm sharing? Hi, Andres. Did you go to the wrong class? No, no, don't worry about it. I was misleading people. Okay, there's Brittany. You can see it? Perfect. All right. So I'm even okay. Hello, everybody. I love this classroom because I've been teaching 5 years in a really absurd room. It was like you had, what did we have, like walls in the middle of, what do you call those? Pillars. Yeah, pillars in the middle of the classroom. And it was flat and I couldn't see people and people couldn't see the board most of the time. So this is perfect. Anyway, so hello everybody. I'm Pam Ismail. I'm a professor in the science side of things in our department, and I've been here for 17 years. And this is, I think, my 16th year teaching the class because I went on sabbatical once or twice. So either the 15th time or the 16th time. So you can trust that I know a little bit what I'm doing. So I love this class. I have passion for it. It might sound so boring to you, but I'll try to make it a little bit spicy and interesting. But first, I did something new this year. I always miss introducing myself so that you don't know who I really am. So I just put together a slide just to tell you who I am so that you know me. So like I said, I've been at the U for 17 years. I'm also the director of the Plant Protein Innovation Center. We have a huge group. We have a couple of you here already working in a group. And I have, I call them my lab family, and I'm the mom, the second mom. And I do have some sayings that I go by. One of them is ready for anything, prepared for nothing. So Pam, can you do this? Yes. Am I prepared? No. But I do it. I go for it and wing it. And another thing is I'm a very positive person. I'm the one that tells you not only half the glass full, but you can actually fill the other half. Here's a bottle of water, grab it, fill it. Positivity helps in life. And when you think you're not in control, you can be. That's something that I always go by. I have one daughter and 3 cats and a dog. We obviously love cats. The dog was a mistake, but she's the best of them all. Yeah, that mistake is the best mistake. My daughter graduated college, so this is the first year I teach students that are younger than my daughter. Most of you are younger. I always tell stories, link my daughter's things that she did to food analysis. Guess how? I don't know. I'll tell you stories. And what else? I love to cook. Maybe if I have time, I'll bring something to class. I can't make promises, but I love to cook. I'm a competitive person in nature. You don't want to play with me anything because I'm a sore loser, but I love things. That means Shrek is my favorite movies of all time. I love them. I know them by heart. Donkey is the best character. He has scared of heights. I'm scared of heights too. So we have some things in common. Another favorites, Analyze This and When Harry Met Sally. So I'm old. So that's it. Just a little bit about who you're gonna be dealing with. Anyway, so we're gonna cover a lot of different things today, mostly familiarizing you with the class, with the Canvas, with the syllabus and content. So I'll first go to let's see, I'm gonna have to escape this and show you Canvas. You probably all already checked out the Canvas maybe, but when you go to your courses and go to food analysis class, this would be your homepage, which just introduces you to this class. This class is offered as a undergraduate and graduate class, so but we meet the same, we have similar requirements. Here we list our, so I'm the instructor, we might have one guest lecturer, and then we have an army that will guide you through the labs this semester. So our lab coordinator, Cindy Gallagher, you will meet her next week in lab, and she's also the star of many videos we made for you to introduce you to the lab each week. We have several teaching assistants, so I'll let each one of them introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Saj. I am a PhD student in Kim's lab. I work with plant proteins, and my favorite food right now I'm on a curry kick. So all types of curries of all types of ways. Warm, that's where I'm at. Come visit me in office hours. I'm happy to help you with anything to the best of my abilities. And yeah.
So Saj is one of our lead TAs. We have a couple of lead TAs and a couple of helping TAs. So Saj, you'll see her a lot in the lab. And also Saj took this class 2 or 3 years ago, and this is her second time TAing. So 3 years experience.
Hi everyone, I'm Nigel. Some of you may know me. I'm a PhD candidate in tech staff. This is my 4th year teaching analysis. So I'll be with you for the HPLC lab and the next spec lab. And yeah, looking forward to maybe doing this stuff again.
Also experience 4 years. Charlotte.
Hi everyone, I'm Charu. I'm also a PhD student at Science Lab, and I'll be the DTA as well. So you see me a lot. Yeah, I'm work with plant diseases as well, and I'll be happy to help you guys when I'm at
So Sharu is second time TAing, right? And then she will be grading quizzes and the midterm. And I will definitely review and if you have questions, you'll come to me and Sharu for your quizzes and midterm. Okay, Brittany, another veteran.
Yes, I do it. I took the class as a student 3 years ago. And then this is my 3rd year being a TA. So I'm in charge of all your guys' Canvas and lab report grading this year. So if something's wrong with Canvas, if you're looking for that stuff or something, let me know. Go put a fan for it. And all your lab report grading. So if you want to influence or slow your grade, I like coffee, I like sweet treats.
Oh my gosh, this is recorded, you guys. No. Oh, Brittany. Yeah, so Brittany this year is not going to be involved in labs, although for 2 years she was one of the lead TAs, but she will, since she's so experienced, she'll be the one grading lab reports. Okay, so you have an army, a crew. We're all here at your service to help you learn and enjoy the class. And by the end of it, I'm so sorry. Andressa, why aren't you sitting with the crew? I'm sorry, you guys. Another TA. Introduce yourself.
I'm Andressa. I'm a first year music student. I'm more of a helping TA this semester. I'll be mostly helping with the lab prep. But please feel free to ask me anything and I'll try to help you. Okay, that's my
Yeah, so as you can see, it's not like I forgot adding Andressa here. Andressa is a helper in training to be lead TA next semester. So, you know, if you see her, you have a question, of course, she'll help you or direct you, but won't be the person to go to. That's why I didn't put her in here, right, Andressa? So I didn't forget you this time. Okay. All right. So this is who we are. Let's go orientate you a little bit with Canvas. So this is your front page. This is all the information that you're going to see, description also of the class, which is also in your syllabus, and the objective. So it's just an overview page. I'm going to correct this 1433. We're obviously V25. So I'll correct that so there's no more confusions in the future. And then what you will always go to are 3 places on Canvas: the modules, the media gallery, and the assignments. So the media gallery will tell you when there is a video for you to watch before the lab. You'll have all the videos there to prepare you for labs. And then the assignments, they're like for pre-lab quizzes, we'll talk about that, for lab reports, for any other assignments, you'll find them there with the due date. And Brittany is in charge to keep that updated. If you have any questions about assignments, due date, funnel them to Brittany, and if she needs me, she'll ask me directly. So that's the assignment in the media, and then the next one that you will be visiting a lot where the modules are. So here at the top section, you'll see important folders. Here in this folder, you'll see the syllabus, the schedule file, and SLO stands for Student Learning Outcome. I will open that file in a minute. It's like a study guide for you. Okay, and then there is the lab information guide. So here you'll find lab related information. So lab report format, which I'll go over next week in lab with you. The tables and figures, that format for the lab reports, we'll go over that as well. And tips on how to work successfully as a group, because a lot of the labs are really in groups of 5. Some of them are in groups of 2 or 3. So working in a group, and then some general safety guidelines, sources of error, MSDS sheet for, reagents. Okay, so we'll go back to modules. Another important place that you will find very, very helpful is I always offer students examples of quizzes and exams. And what I do is I put the quiz and then the key down here. When you want to study, you open the quiz without the key and try to solve it. Don't look at the key right away. You won't retain any information. So try to solve it and then look at the key, and you can grade yourself because I put points in the key. And there is one for the example for each of the quizzes and the one midterm that you have. You won't see an example of a final, but at the end of the semester, I have a review session and we go over 15 different questions. Many of them will come in the final. Okay, so yes, use that as also a study guide. If you solve the quiz or the exam and you got above 80%, you're ready. Of course, your quiz and exam will not be the same questions, but similar format. And if you're ready for any question that you find in the quiz, you will be ready for the other questions you'll see in the real quiz. So make use of this resource. I want you to succeed. Of course, grades are important, but my focus is for you to get more than 60% of the material. And I promise you'll do well in the class in general. So textbook study questions, I put in here the new study questions based on the new edition of the book that just came out. And it doesn't have answers. Also, this is another way for you to study. If you are stuck on a question and you're not sure of your answer, you can come to me and I'll show you the key. The publisher did not want us to circulate the key for copyright and confidentiality. That's why I don't put it here. Okay. Right. And then throughout the semester, we will be populating these folders. Now they don't have anything. I changed this year the lab report requirement, and you're going to be super happy about the change that I made, and I'll tell you about it later. It is definitely less work, Brittany, right? For the students and for the graders. So there aren't example lab reports that I can share with you from last year because they're a little bit different. So what we will do is we try to get your report graded within a week before you are going to submit the second one. And then we will put an example that will help you see how we grade, what's the format, and get you ready for your next submission. We will always put the sample report after we grade all the reports, and we'll put one that was really good that would be helpful to help you with your next report, not to the submission of the current report. Okay, so this is kind of learning to improve your reports as you go. And this is part of what we call writing intensive class, is focused on improving your writing, your delivery every time. A lab report question key, we will post the key after the reports are graded. You know, I urge you to work on those questions on your own. Don't try to find answers online. You can find answers in your book. You can talk about it amongst yourself, but you will have to get your answers on your own. And after we grade, we will put the question key. Why? Because a lot of the questions in the quizzes and exam come from lab. Because lab is your applied learning of the facts. So a lot of the questions come from lab report questions or experiments we do in the lab. So this is important for your studying. Finally, every time we grade a quiz or exam, I will post the key afterwards so that you can look at your grade, your answers compared to the key. If you have any concerns, you come to me because I will be reviewing each and every quiz and exam before we hand it back. One thing is I want to learn about you and know you. So this is my way of knowing where should I focus, where the gaps are. And also, sometimes the key is so literal, and sometimes you have an answer that doesn't match the key, but it can be correct. So make sure you look at the key and your answers and come talk to me if you have concerns. All right. Lastly, what you will be looking at is week by week information. So now all you can see is week 1. Usually by Wednesday or Friday, we'll open week 2 folder. So you will see 2 important things, which now you cannot see the lab material. We will post that this afternoon. But lecture material, you'll see the lecture slides for the 2 lectures of this week. So they're right there. You can download on your computer. You can take notes. You can write down notes. You can print them, whatever you want, however the learning that you prefer. And then I record my lectures. So I will put the recording also under that relevant week of every lecture. The recording does not mean to not attend class. I'll talk about attendance in a little bit. It's for you to re-listen to topics that you struggled with. So it's available for you to re-listen and help you learn, but does not substitute your presence in class. Okay, so that is that's everything about Canvas. Brittany, did I miss anything?
Like I said, I just started it, so if there's any dates that are refreshed, let me know. And then if you highlighted that, we need like really use assignments as we go. So
Mhm.
there's a few that I can right now just for the, some stick, because there's some things like that you can see. But if you like, you know, a lot of quarterly release.
Yes, and so the grades is another place that, of course, you will go to. So we have a grade book to keep our scores in one place for all of us to access. But after we have a score or a grade for any assignment or quiz or an exam, it will all be posted on Canvas. If you didn't see your grade and it should be there, let us know. Okay. So yeah, and as you go, reach out via email whenever you have a question. You know, you can email directly a TA, you can email me anytime. I will give your email priority. Sometimes my inbox gets really full. If I don't respond to you in a day or two, send a follow-up. Don't take it personal. It's just like it might have slipped through the cracks. Please send a reminder email. I'll be sure to respond to you. So ask questions. I say something that there's no bad question or there's no stupid question or dumb question. Every question is valid. If it's in your mind, spit it out. You are entitled to ask your questions and I am responsible to answer your question. So please do that. Reach out. Don't be scared of me. I'm not intimidating at all. Am I intimidating you guys? You said yes? Come on, Brittany. No. She doesn't mean that. Okay, I'll ask another person. Saj. Oh my goodness. Bye. I know that's a statement by itself. But you know, I promise I'm harder on my graduate student than my undergrad. Right, Tina? Nobody wants to say it. Okay, never mind. You'll get to know me as you go in the semester. I do have high expectations. So that's probably why my students think I'm probably a little bit intimidating, but you know, I have your best interest at heart. I will always push you to get the best out of you. But I will maintain my respect to you and my service. So it's okay. All right. So let's see what else I have. I want to go through the syllabus quickly with you. Like I said, I'll update this mistake. You come to the lab once a week. So if you're a Monday, signed up for a Monday, you come on Monday. If you sign up for Wednesday, you come on Wednesday. I might need one or two folks to change from Wednesday to Monday. If you're willing, because we have less students on Monday, just to kind of balance the work on Monday and Wednesday, if you're willing and that doesn't hurt your schedule, please email me and tell me I'm willing to convert to Monday. I would probably maximum 2 volunteers. So and then if I get to the third person, I will say thank you. So please consider this week to email me if you're okay with moving to Monday Lab. That would be very, very helpful for you and for the TAs as well. Okay. We talked about teaching assistants and then prerequisite or co. You can take food chemistry with food analysis. You can manage, but you can't take food analysis without concurrently registered in food chem or have taken food chem. So I give permission for co-taking the classes together. Required class textbook. So we have, like I said, new editions, the 6th edition of the book and the 4th edition of the lab manual. We'll be using the lab manual in every single lab. So I highly recommend it to have your own hard copy. Now for the textbook, it's available through the library as an ebook, which you have access to as a student. Of course, I always like hard copy books in my library. You will use it if you go to industry or to grad school, you will be pulling it down from your library. So it's good for you to have it, no obligation. It's available to you via the library, but the manual, please do get it, yes.
You open your ebook through coursework, we're just doing this in our lab, and then you like open the ebook and then option to order it. That's what I did, and it's a 14 days or something.
But that's not Apple.
No, so you have to order it through like software.
I thought I put in an order for the bookstore. I put that in order in June. I will follow up with the bookstore, but meanwhile, get that option. But I do want you to have your lab manual next week. If you do not have your lab manual, let us know and we'll give you a hard copy of the chapter 5 that you need for the lab. You will see that it's not feasible to have your manual open and while you're working in the lab and your computer. No, you really want hard copy. So try to get it. If not, you could, if you have the access to the ebook and you want to print it each time, you could. Yeah, it is totally up to you. I just want you to have a hard copy, and always nice to have the book, but you can print out. And I'll make a note to check with the bookstore. Okay, let's see. These are suggested references. You will go to them in multiple assignments. You would need to access some of these. We'll probably need to update this. Actually, now we have the 21 edition of 2023. So I'll make that update. I just noticed that. Anyway, then it talked about instruction material, where you would find them. Laboratory, I'll talk more about lab next week. And then here are the course objectives and learning outcomes that I would like you to look at. And then here I list all the topics we covered and all the laboratory experiments we do. And then here's some university language for writing intensive classes. This is the only senior class in the food science that has a W, and it just explains to you have resources. We will be grading on grammar and sentence structure as part of the requirement for W for in your lab reports. If you need assistance, you can go to the writing center, have a half-an-hour meeting, and they can review up to 6 pages of writing with you. You never need to write 6 pages for a lab report, but I'm just saying that you have access to kind of go through writing with you. Okay, these are the points associated with all of the different assignments. So we have 2 quizzes, each is worth 30 points. And then the dates of the quizzes are there for you. And you notice they are always on a Friday. I tried it multiple ways, Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday. And I found that you have lab reports to do either Monday or Wednesday. And if we put it on a Monday, it's not fair for the Monday lab. They can't review before the lecture. And if we put it on Wednesday, same thing. So finally I said, okay, Friday. That eliminates a weekend of studying, but at least it doesn't coincide with your lab or your lab report submission. So let's see how it works. Love feedback, but I think this might work better than previous years. Okay, so 2 hours, 1 hour midterm, also on a Friday, and then final. And you can see that lab reports have almost more than 1/3 of the grade. So You submit 12 reports, every report is 25 points. So if you do well on your lab report, you cannot really mess up. It's a big part of your grade. So there is pre-lab take-home quizzes. You'll have them open up as an assignment every Wednesday. These are simple quizzes just to get you familiar with what you're doing before you come to the lab. So they're simple, quick, not too involved, but it will make you look in your lab manual before coming to lab as to what we're going to do. Laboratory notebook, you'll maintain a lab notebook. We'll talk about it in lab. And then participation, involvement, and attendance. So participation is a big deal for me because it keeps you alert and you can ask a question, you can answer, you can make a comment, or somebody answers a question for somebody else's. Go ahead.
For the lab notebook, is it just like we can have whatever notebook we want, or we have to get a specific?
No, whatever lab notebook you want, but don't get those small ones. You want it at least the size of the length of the paper because you will be, putting data in there, stapling it and
We
stuff.
don't have to get like the university.
No. Any notebook of your choosing, however way you want to organize yourself, but not a teeny tiny, and don't make it shared with another lab. Like, don't get that big notebook. It will be like buried. The information will be buried. Okay. Participation, I was saying, anything. Just be engaged with me. Don't be embarrassed if you answer wrong. You're not expected to know the answers. That's why you're in this class. Say whatever question you might have, you'll get +2. You have up to 15 participation. What 15 on the sheet? Yeah, 15 participation in the entire semester. If you participate more than 15 times, they go into extra credit. I'll give them to you if you need them. Like if you need +2 to go from a B- to a B, we look at your bank, and wherever we can find points, we give it to you. So doesn't mean don't go to side and say, how many participations do I have? Did I reach my 15? Well, yeah, we can keep talking and gain more. Okay, and attendance, I would love for you to attend classes. It's, first of all, that's how you earn participation. We do a lot of practice problems in lecture. That's where the learning happens. Listening to a lecture, recorded lecture, is not my books as a learning tool. It's only for reinforcing a knowledge. So there are a lot of opportunities for extra credits. Oh, that's my postdoc from last year. No, that's me. I will replace the name. She covered for me when I was on sabbatic last fall. Anyway, so I would go into the class at any time and give +10 to whoever is in the room. +10. So everybody in the room gets +10. If I forget, remind me before the end of the semester. Yeah, you didn't give us our +10. So make sure you remember that this is yours to get. And then there will be a lot of opportunities for extra credit. Pull out a piece of paper, write down answer to a question, solve a problem. You get +2, and you can earn up to 30 points. Trust me, those extra credits you will come in handy. A-, very close to A. These extra credits will give you that bump. Okay. This is the grade, and then distribution, and then all of the policies regarding, absences, privacy, COVID, all of that at the end. Okay, any questions about syllabus, content of class, anything you can think of? All right, student learning outcome. Every section we complete, and before a quiz, you can go to that section. So there's general student learning outcome for the class, and then for every section, for the chapters, the introductory chapters that we cover, And then for the chromatography section, for the spectroscopy and spectrometry section. So you, after you study, you can go like, can I differentiate between batch, continuous, and countercurrent extraction process? Can I define chromatography? So that's kind of your guide. Ask yourself these questions. All right, and then last here, I want to show you the course schedule that's also on Canvas. So it kind of gives you an overview of what will each lecture be and the different labs. And of course, I'm the main instructor with a guest lecturer, Gary Rhinexis, who will be talking about gas chromatography and mass spectrometry. So, and then it tells you when there is a quiz, it reminds you quiz 1, midterm, and then quiz 2, and the Thanksgiving, and then the final exam date and time, and final exam will be in this room, your classroom. All right, any questions about it? Okay. So we'll talk a lot about lab next week. We talked about all of this. The adjustment is mostly related to lab reports. We'll talk about them in lab. And also, I used to have a semester-long project. It's no more. It hasn't been there, but there's an example project that I put under week 1. So if it's not open, make sure you open it, just to have an idea what students in the past used to do. The project was kind of take a food product and tell me what would be the test for for ingredients during processing on the final product. So it's an exercise. After you learn about all the methods, you apply them to a type of food. It was a really good learning experience, but a ton of work. And students kept saying, this is a 4-credit class, you're giving us 5 credit worth of work. It took me a couple of years, few years, maybe 10 years, and then I dropped it. But I still thought it was a good exercise, but you know, we listen to what you guys want. All right. What did you hear about this class? Hard? Who says yes? Oh, who heard easy? Nobody. Yeah, it's not easy. But it's not, it's kind of perspective, hard. Maybe needs you to work a little more than again, at the end of the day, it's 4-credit class with lab, 3 lectures a week. You anticipate to work a little bit more than other classes. Is it gonna haunt you at night? Yes? Oh my gosh, who told you this, Brittany? I'm, you know, Brittany, I'm not happy.
You're supposed to keep that, that's good.
Huh?
What's that? He was not supposed to tell you.
Yeah, it's gonna haunt you at night, especially when you have a lab report due. You know, it's good. It's good. Builds character. Is it challenging? Well, if it's gonna haunt you, it's gonna challenge you, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Affirmative about that.
I heard some people consider that project and they said it is challenging.
Okay, is it boring? You can be honest. Did you hear that it was boring? I see no. It's like, that's good. Please, that's a relief. You know, I try my best not to make it boring. But I can tell you some subject I don't like, and you can see and see me standing here like, when is this lecture going to be over? But some I'm very super excited about, and you'll feel the energy. Most of the topic, I'm jumping up and down and going places because I really love this topic. Okay, so interesting. It's perspective.
I'm incredibly excited for this because the past few semesters, all the labs have just been like, okay, yeah, that is a thing we could do with more stuff. And
Yeah.
now we finally get to actually do That's stuff.
Give him +5, please. Thank you so much.
So long to,
I love it.
now.
What's your name? What's that?
Rob.
Rob. I'm just kidding. I'll learn all of your names and I appreciate that input. I was kidding. No +5.
No, you're not getting +5, believe me. I'm just taking note of who you are.
Okay, so these guys know that I joke a lot. When I'm serious, I have to tell them I'm really serious. Okay. Is this class useless? Please tell me you didn't hear that one. Okay, thank you. I know, okay, I'll make a confession. Don't tell Steve Bowden. I really dislike food micro. It's just not my thing. So, some of you here are really gonna say food analysis is really not my thing, which is totally acceptable, and you're not gonna find it interesting, find most of it boring, but you know what? It's a requirement, you're gonna have to take it. And I hope by the end of the semester, you would have learned something that somewhere in your future career, you'll find beneficial. I'm not gonna force you to like the class. I hope you just benefit as much as you can. Anyway, okay, we can go on to serious matter and start with questions. If you want to answer, you raise your hand, say your name. Saj will put you down as your two participation points. So, food analysis include. All right, say your name.
Rasmus, I might not be on the sheet.
He's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not on the sheet. Please add Rasmus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, all of the above, I feel like each of those components is like essential to understanding what a food is in terms of chemical properties and flavor and everything else.
Very good answer. Did you have a different answer here? Who raised them? You raised your hand?
I was gonna go with H2. So.
No, you did two for that. Okay, so say your name.
Graham.
Graham.
Okay.
I always take attendance myself for the first few days so that I learn your names. So you don't have to always say your name. I'll just tell you by your name and then write down your participation. So absolutely, Rames, your answer is correct. Analysis include everything about the food. So all the characteristics that might impact safety, quality, consumer preference, food regulations, law, everything that can impact that we analyze. We look at microbiology, sensory quality and perception, physical analysis of food. Anybody can give me an example of a physical analysis? What do I mean by physical analysis?
Texture.
Texture, thank you. So texture is physical, like we do texture analysis by a texture analyzer, for example. We do viscosity is a physical measure. So when you look at rheological properties, this is physical measurements. Color is physical, refractive index is physical. So, okay. So chemical analysis and characterization is what we will focus on for this class, mostly. There are chapters at the end of the book for physical, but we won't have time. We need another semester to cover physical. Microbiology is covered in a different class. Sensory is covered in a different class. So A will be our focus, but the answer is all of the above. Okay, good. Food composition analysis is carried out. When I say food composition, what do I mean? What do you know about food composition? When you hear that, what am I analyzing specifically? Do you know? What makes up the food, Rob?
Fats.
Absolutely. So when I look at fat, protein, sugars, calcium, iron. So this is all part of composition. You will hear us talk later on about proximate analysis or proximate composition. That's specific macronutrients, but food composition encompasses a lot of different components, including the micro elements or micro components of the food, like vitamins and minerals are micro components. So why do we analyze them? If you look at fat, why is it important to analyze fat content? Out of all of this, fat, protein, anything. Go ahead, say your name first.
Sophie,
Sophie.
is this determining the nutritional benefits of consumers?
So A is what the consumer looking for. High protein is a big deal right now. That's why we are in business. So demand of the consumer, and then you analyze, do we really need the high protein that the consumer is looking for, or low fat or low sodium? So you would analyze to see if you can meet what the consumer is looking for. What about government requirements? Go ahead and say your name.
I'm saying, and I think it's because.
Can you say your name again? I think it's out.
I got you.
Got you.
For food safety for the food.
Would say, yeah, that might be under quality. But the government sometimes, have you heard of standard of identity? Okay, so for milk, you have to have a certain percentage of fat to call it whole milk or certain things. So the standard of identity in the Code of Federal Regulations you have to do analysis to see if your product meet that standard of identity or meet certain government requirements. Okay, nutritional benefits, we talked about that. For example, nutritional benefit it can encompass a lot of different things. All macronutrients, we need them at a specific amount. But also there's health claims like calcium and osteoporosis, for example, fiber and cancer. So there are different claims that we want to make sure, okay, how much is the dietary fiber? Can I make that claim? Or what? So, and then lastly, the quality. So that quality includes safety. It can be microbial safety or chemical safety or physical safety. You don't want glass in your food. You also don't want microorganisms or pathogens, and you don't want something like melamine, chemical adulteration. So quality, making sure also the quality is consistent. I'm always having the same moisture content. If I have high moisture content, my product might spoil sooner than my storage or shelf life. So all of this is important, and that's why food composition analysis is super important. Okay, where are we at? A minute late. You can always tell me, Pam, class is over. Is there so there's a time over here. I will see you on Friday. Thank you.
Right after.